take them all out for the big bounce off the bottom. That's a big shakeout. This is what happens to the bulls when they got that exuberance.
I can't even keep up with the tick-tock.
All right, we're in bear market. We told you people not to get involved in that. Whoa, look at that.
Good evening, traders, and welcome to Stock Traders Talk Radio here on a beautiful Monday night, March the 26th, 2012. I am your host, STT. Joining me on tonight's program, I have QT Cal.
Hello, STT.
How are you tonight, QT?
I'm doing well. How are you, STT?
I'm fantastic. Thank you very much for asking.
Great.
Also joining me on the program tonight, I have Mr. Cop.
Hey, what's going on, STT?
How's it going there, Cop?
Doing great. Hey, QT, how are you?
Hey, Cop. Good. How are you?
Oh, loving it.
All righty. Also joining us on the program tonight is Kia.
Oh, aloha, STT. Cutie Cow, Cop. How you guys doing?
Hey.
Sippy.
Right.
Don't forget to join the STT program in the morning, starring Stock Sumo, Sifakia, and Haas, starting at 9 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, Monday through Friday. This week's Friday special guest host is none other than QT Cal. QT, are you ready for that?
I am so ready. It's going to be so much fun.
You know, it's not as easy as it sounds hosting this radio show.
A little scary, but you know what? The guys are so much fun. I listen all the time. So the good thing is thank goodness it's still radio, because at 5:30 in the morning Pacific time, not the best time for me to be on video. So that would be good.
Okay.
Looking forward to it.
Quiet. Don't give out too many trade secrets there, girl. All right, keep it quiet.
I will.
Nice and quiet.
Mom's the word.
Just set it out over the radio. It's fantastic.
Oh, oops. Gosh. Forgot about that.
Somebody tie her mouth shut. All right. Tonight we have a fabulous stock spotlight for everybody listening. Doing tonight's stock spotlight is QT Cal. QT, take it away.
Thanks so much, STT. All right, tonight we have our stock spotlight, which is Herborium Group, Inc., ticker symbol HBRM. That's H as in Henry, B as in boy, R as in Robert, and M as in Mary. They are on the OTC Pink Current market. And their business description is the Herborium Group, Inc. is a botanical therapeutics company focusing on developing, licensing, and marketing proprietary botanical-based medicinal products to consumers and healthcare professionals. Whew. All right. So their contact information, it looks like they are located in Teaneck, New Jersey. Website is www.herborium, that is HERBORIUM.com. We have a share structure right now that's on OTCmarkets.com of shares outstanding 341,924,374 as of November 30th, 2011. The float is 145,610,487 with an authorized share structure of 500 million. We have our company officers. We have Agnes Olszewski as the president, CEO, and founder. We have James Gilligan as the CSO, founder, and Aaron Canals, who is a consultant. Okay, with that, I'd like to go over to the websites. There's actually 2 websites, but we're going to focus first on herborium.com, which I mentioned just previously. And we have in the About Us, they talk about their botanical therapeutics, and the company is focused on developing, licensing, and marketing the proprietary botanical-based medicinal products. So what they want to do is they want to target unmet medical needs. The company responds to both consumers and healthcare professionals for demand for safe and natural medicinal options for treatment and prevention of selective diseases and health concerns. Now, what the company business model focuses on is the emerging market of these medicinal or botanical pharmaceuticals. And they're looking at the potential of this market being assessed over $125 billion in the USA and the UK alone. So that's a pretty big market, okay? And we know with the rising healthcare costs, we know about all those things that are affecting us here in the U.S., that they are focusing on the herbal side of things and the botanical side. And what they want to do is they want to take a value-added approach based on the product differentiation of higher profit margins and intellectual property protection with a lower risk and regulatory burden. Now, their particular line is regulated by, it says the products are classified by the FDA as dietary supplements and are regulated by the Dietary Supplement Health and Education Act of 1994. So, with that being said, they have a focus on these botanical pharmaceuticals in regards to the areas of vitamins, minerals, and dietary supplements, and they are categorized under the dietary supplement category. Okay. And they also have products for dermatology. Okay, so they've got a wide range of products. Looks like a very lucrative business in regards to what they talked about, on their About Us page with the $125 billion market. So that's very good. You look over at the products, they're focusing on 4 major product lines. First of all, they have the dermatology product line, and this is the Acne's. And Acne's is actually a secondary product, but it also has its own website. So I'd like to go ahead and give that out to you listeners, which is www.acnease.com. That's ACNEASE.com. Okay, we'll talk a little bit more about that. They also have, now I hope there's not too many people that are very modest, because one of their product lines has to pertain to sexual health and performance. So that's something that they're looking at in great detail, and it says it's an all-natural herbal medicinal product targeting the improvement of male and female sexual health and performance. And we'll talk a little bit more about that, because there is some heightened awareness around that particular product in regards to some of the recent press releases. Then they have an energy restoration product. It's an energy booster. It's called Lasting Energy, and it's an herbal supplement for energy, jet lag, and hangover. I have a few friends that could definitely use that. Hint, hint. Not in the STT group, of course. All right. The 4th one is the extended product pipeline. Now, depending on how you look at it, when you've got the lasting energy, when they talk about jet lag and hangover, then they go right into liver activator series. So, again, those things can go hand in hand with some people that I know. Again, not mentioning any names. Rheumatoid arthritis product, respiratory infections product, and then also Virtual Institute for Alternative and Complementary Medicine. It's VIACM. All right. With that, they talk about the distribution channels. And again, you can check out the website for that. So those are the 4 main categories of the products that they feature on their website. Now, to go over to the secondary website, which is the www.acnease.com, there's been a lot of buzz over this particular product as well. This is a supplement that they are talking about in regards to an herbal treatment for acne. Now, you will see on the home page that it says that you can see improvements in 7 to 10 days. Some of the bullet points that has under the Acne's is it treats and prevents different types of acne. It's a unique and clinically tested herbal formula, has no side effects, unlike many other topical and oral products. It's small, convenient, easy to swallow tablets, works for women and men, and then works for people of all ages and all different complexions. Now, one of the things that they talk about in regards to this product is the fact that it is without some of the more popular things that are used in today's acne products, such as antibiotics, benzoyl peroxide, or salicylic acid. Those types of ingredients tend to dry out the skin and make the skin irritated. So when they're talking about the herbal use of this or the herbal products that they have, it is to look at this from a holistic type of perspective, and it will not dry out or cause some of the side effects that you see in the things that are used in the acne products of today, again, like the salicylic acid and benzoyl peroxide. Also, Retin-A is another big one that I know a lot of doctors prescribe. So, again, these things are treated with an herbal remedy, so that's good. All right, so those are some of the things that you see on the website, and again, that's theacnes.com. So taking a look at both of these and looking at some of the products, I want to jump into some of the PRs. Now, they've had a ton of press releases since February, and I want to go through some of those things right now. So there have been a lot of business activities. There's been some focus on some areas in the business, and starting with February 7th, 2012, Herborium has announced the launch of an aggressive investors awareness campaign continuing through 2012. So basically, they were beginning the next step in the business plan to foster growth and to increase shareholder value and trading volume. They wanted to focus on, they also had a focused update on acnes, which we just talked about in regards to their acne product. Their internet sales at that time that they talked about were up 6.5%. They said that their Twitter followers were doubled, and so they were getting a lot of increased business in that area with the acnes product. Other botanical therapeutics that they wanted to develop sales, and they wanted to make sure that they were following in that direction, so they had expressed interest in wanting to focus on those therapeutics and where they would take that in 2012. And they also wanted to identify or start identifying proper partners and distribution channels for these products. So that was the press release for February 7th. Again, that aggressive investors awareness campaign, you will see when we start talking about some of the other more recent press releases how that has fared for them in regards to that awareness. On February 15th, they launched an aggressive marketing campaign targeting the sales of the acnes to the U.S. population. They wanted to focus on Asian Indian population because with this, we talked about the product itself being an herbal treatment for acne. So with that, you know, when you talk about some of the things that are that people are affected by in the some of the side effects with those products, like we talked about with the benzoyl peroxide, Retin-A, those kind of things, with the irritation and the drying out of the skin. Also, what you see sometimes with some of the more popular acne products is a whitening or bleaching of the skin. So what they felt was necessary for this February 15th press release was that they were going to target the Asian Indian population or those who had darker skin because of the fact that acne did not discolor or bleach the darker complexion, which is, again, a problem with many similar products on the market. So very smart way of marketing the product, also reaching the customers that would be most affected by some of those other products on the market. They went and they targeted that. They also hired Mr. Karan Sharma to help lead those marketing efforts in targeting the American Indian population. They also said in this press release that the Indian market is expected to grow around 22% through 2014. So that was another reason behind the marketing campaign. So those you can see are are what's building up the product in regards, and the population that are to be the most beneficial to the herbal treatment in regards to not, having any issues with the skin. So that's one thing that they focused on in that PR. The next press release we see for February 21st, and this is the first mention of a letter of intent with China Health Resource Inc. Okay, and this is China Health Resource Inc. issues the letter of intent to acquire up to 100% interest in Herborium Group Inc. Okay, so CHRI, which we'll refer to them, China Health Resource Inc., built its franchise through successful standardization of Dahurian Angelica root, or we'll call it DAR, for the pharmaceutical industry. This was their claim to fame, and they are, again, a China-based company that had their eyes on Herborium Group Inc. So this is the first that you'll hear of that on February 21st, and that's the letter of intent. A few days later, on February 24th, it says that Herborium Group Inc. signs the letter of intent with China Health Resource Inc. for sales up to 100% interest in Herborium. It talks about the world market for botanical drugs, that it's over $500 billion. It talks about also that to combine Herborium marketing, clinical, and regulatory competencies in its proprietary product portfolio with CHRI manufacturing capabilities is where this is going to be a nice marriage. They talk about the fact that also the market access in China is pretty hot. There's a lot going on, and so there's a huge opportunity to create a leader in the botanical therapeutics products. And so they're talking about this in regards to the next step, that this is something that they're looking at, and that it would be a good marriage between both companies in regards to both CHRI in regards to their their manufacturing and their heavy base in China, as well as what Herborium Group Inc. does so well, which is the marketing aspect of their botanical drugs, as well as the proprietary product portfolio. Again, they have a lot of things that they've been working on, so CHRI has looked at that, has noticed it, and it looks like the interest is very high between both groups to merge. Okay, we move on to March 1st, which is again, marketing campaign or commercialization. And here we go. We're going to talk about this, so hopefully we don't have anybody that's too embarrassed by this, but it is a product, so their commercialization of its all-natural sexual health products. They talk about this market, the sexual health and performance market, being over a $3.2 billion worldwide market. And they make reference to those leaders in the sexual health performance market, Viagra, Cialis, and Levitra. These are things that, you see within the pharmaceutical world. However, again, they're marketing this this is a natural sexual health product. And in this market, they're looking at over $1.5 billion in sales, and they're going after that aggressively. They talked about this particular niche being very hot right now, no pun intended, but that it's a very big market, and they're also looking at the growing need for women's sexual health products. They talked about stimulants and things like that have increased over the past few years, and that women are becoming a lot more comfortable with their sexuality in regards to their sexual enhancement, and all of these products in the commercialization, they're going after that market. So again, both men and women can benefit from these products. They are herbal. Again, they're not coming from the more commercial pharmaceutical world, so that is a huge market for them to tap into. And again, that product is called Lasting Pleasure, and it is a $1.5 billion industry. So that is the press release from March 1st. The next day, March 2nd, they talk again about the process of Phase 1 due diligence for the letter of intent sign with CHRI, between Herborium Group Inc. and CHRI, being complete as far as the Phase 1 due diligence process. And that, again, is for the sale up to 100% interest to CHRI. And they have commenced that due diligence process in Phase 1, and that they move on to Phase 2. Okay, so that was then talked about on March 2nd. We then see another press release on March 8th, and it talks about the company internet sales. Now, remember, the first PR that we talked about, which was February 7th, which was the announcement to launch an aggressive investor awareness campaign. It also talked about some of the efforts in the social media arena and how they've tried to tap into that to increase sales. Well, you'll see in the press release for March 8th that it's starting to pay off, because what they wanted to get across to shareholders or potential investors is the fact that their internet sales for Q1 grew 23% in comparison to the same quarter the previous year in 2011. So Q1 2011, again, you'll see that growth of 23% in Q1 for this 2012. Okay, they said that, again, this was because of an initiated aggressive campaign in social media marketing, and that was their strategy for brand awareness. So you'll see that that has dramatically paid off for them in regards to the increase of their sales. Initiatives were placed in the herbarium and Star Botanical Therapeutic for treatment of symptoms of the acne. So you see the acne being, again, talked about, and they went aggressively in the social media arena with the acne products that they provide. They also, it was also featured on Tyra Banks's website to reach women of color on www.myskin.com. So again, you see that recirculating from the previous press release. In the second press release we talked about for February 15th, it talked about them aggressively going after the Indian American population. Now you see it coming back for the more heightened awareness on the Tyra Banks website, and that has the same theme in regards to the dermatology acne herbal remedy for it not creating any bleach spots on the skin. So again, this is starting to become a very recognized product with women of color in regards to this product working without having the side effects that you would see in more of the other products that are on the market. So again, that speaks volumes of the product. Also, it says that they have many more new and powerful initiatives involving social media coming up. So that seems to be very exciting news for them at the beginning of March, March 8th. We see that March 12th there was a press release, and this talks about the fact that there was that they had finally finished phase 1 of the due diligence process for the sale up to 100% interest for CHRI. And we can go back to the press release of February 24th regarding the signed LOI, that they want to say that this first phase has come full circle, that they're looking forward, and that they said that both parties are highly motivated and remain optimistic for a smooth transaction of a final agreement. And that was, again, March 12th. Very last press release that we have is on March 16th. Now, this takes it into a whole new direction. It talks about Herbarium Group, Inc. makes a major announcement on April 6, 2012. So we've got a little bit of the anticipation going there with that press release on March 16th. It says that they will be making a major announcement on April 6th, and it will be regarding the business, and that the 2012 expansion of revenue streams and launch of their new market ventures. So it seems like there's a lot of stuff going on right now. And just to kind of go a little bit more in detail, we can just go right to that press release. It says this new venture with over 150 billion market potential may be regarded as one of the most significant developments in the company's history and is expected to have a defining impact on its growth. Okay, so there's some pretty big stuff going on here. Dr. Agnes Olszewski, CEO, stated that they're very excited to confirm that the company is getting geared up for expansion in all avenues of our products with substantial new revenue streams and new market ventures soon in place. We understand the importance of natural approach to both health and quality of life issues, and our initiative has always been and always will focus on the world of natural medicine, wellness, and quality of life products, which have been growing at an unprecedented pace. The company is now ready for significant growth. So with that, you kind of leaves the ... So we see all of these things going on over the last 2 months. We see the letter of intent with this China-based company. it looks to be progressing, and it looks to be the fact that the phase one due diligence has commenced, that they're moving forward with some type of agreement. We see all of the social media buildup in regards to the products themselves with Acne and any of the other herbal supplements that they provide for all of those health issues that we talked about, or areas of health that they're getting into herbally. And then we also see the group of that they're targeting, the targeted groups of Indian and women of color in regards to the acne treatment, and some of the lesser or the fact that they don't have the types of side effects that some of the more popular products on the market have. So overall, we see a lot of progression in this company, see a lot of news out, and we look to see what may be happening in the near future here with a lot of the stuff that they're about ready to release. But April 6th does seem to be the targeted date for some of those things to come to light, or maybe those things to come full circle. And that's what I have.
Awesome job. Absolutely awesome. All right, I'm going to, that was really, really good, especially going over the different initiatives and different things that are happening. The reason why we selected HBRM this evening is mainly because it's a money ball. And as you guys know, when what we're looking for is money flow that's actually flowing into the stock, why and how that whole process is working, and what the big advantage is to that. So the first thing I kind of want to do, I want to run to Dee and Amanda. I want to kind of show you what's been going on here over the course of time. Of course, today you had a big day, nice push, and on Friday you had a big pop-up with $123,000 trading and $44 million in volume. Day before that, 44 grand. Then it's like a slow lull, 20 grand, 35 grand, 75 grand. But then on the 16th, on 112 grand with 53 million in volume. But I want to take you back to February 21st, where you had an absolute ridiculous spike, where you had 365 million shares traded, another 195 million shares traded the following day, and then 103 million shares traded on the 23rd. Huge, huge cash flow. Okay. Now, before that, on the 8th, you had another pop. Okay, which was right around another 133 million, which is 150 grand. So a whole bunch of money is flowing into this stock. Now, if you notice that a lot of that happened between this 0.0010 area all the way to the 0.0025. Right? So now you get the drive, and the volume is still increasing without the dump yet. Okay? And when I say that, your profit takers are going to take some profit. There's no doubt about that. Now, I kind of want to go to a stigma. What you're seeing with the key thing with these stocks is the fact that we're dealing with China. All right. Now, over the course of the last year, I would say anything regarding China has been just this bad word. Right. So most of them, very suppressed stock prices, some very things that are not making them look good, okay? Now, this one, I believe, to be different, and I'm going to tell you why. One of the best out there in the game is a guy named Ali Angel. If you guys don't know who he is, on Investors Hub, he's pretty damn good. He used to run, I'm not even sure if he still does anymore, but he used to run the Wave Riders, which is a big, big board back in the day, I'd say 2010, 2011, and I'm sure they're still active and those type of things, but it was extremely powerful at one time. Now, here's the big positive side to what they used to do. What they would do is they would pick 4 or 5 stocks, sometimes maybe more. Let's go with 4 to 6 stocks a year that they dug down deep in the financials, 10Ks, 10Qs, the whole 9 yards. Basically focused on the fact that you're looking for something that will be able to run 1,000%. Now, back in I would say probably almost 2 to 3 years ago, we played a play called CHRI, China Health Resources. Everyone heard QT kind of talk about it. It was at the same levels that HBRM is now, and it was actually much lower, kind of where HBRM went. Now, what ended up happening over the course of those years you can go back through and you look at CHRI, is the valuation of those stocks screamed way up, okay? I mean, I'm talking like huge amounts. And there's a couple that, he comes back every once in a while and talks about what happened, but he called it based off of what he's seeing as far as from a revenue standpoint coming out of there. And huge amounts of money. And even this year, if you go look through the DD on CHRI, I believe they're calling for a valuation between 6 cents and 6.065 per share. That's what the earning estimates are, the range for that stock. Now, you can go back through on CHRI, and you can find the word scam and all that regular stuff because it was the name China and all that other stuff. And at the end of the day, basically what ended up happening is Ali Angel proved everybody wrong, but you don't hear all about that. All you hear is about the stuff that the other 999 different Chinese stocks. So I highly recommend you do some DD on posts from Ali Angel and the different things that has actually happened there. The other key thing to notice is, hold on one second, let me give you this. All right, the other key thing to notice is the fact that when he mentioned a bunch of these stocks as far as them running, the key aspect to them was he came back to HBRI and actually posted on that one as well. Now, the key thing with that is if you look at the different pieces to it, where did HBRM come from? Now, to notice that, hold on a second. You guys still able to hear me there? Hello? Anyone there?
Yeah, we got you.
Yeah.
All right. I'm having some mic issues, so I switched it out. Were you guys hearing that?
Yes.
Why?
I said your headset sucks.
Is that what? Okay, well, I got another one, so that's the beauty to it. All right, perfect. You're hearing me fine now?
Yes, it's better.
All right, good.
Thank you.
All right, no problem. Okay, so I want to kind of jump over to the next thing with that, okay, which is on Investors Hub. I'm on the HBRM board, all right? And what you're seeing is there's a lot of due diligence that QT just kind of went through a lot of pieces of that to where they're discussing the different products and how they've actually been able to get to the next level with CHRI. All right, so I know that may sound a little confusing, but this is one of these type of stocks that you're going to have to spend some time doing some due diligence on, and I'm not telling you to look beyond the Chinese aspect to that, but it is definitely something you need to look at. All right, now I want to jump over to OTCmarkets.com, and I want to go through the different things that we have there. All right, hold on one second. Okay, so if you go to OTCmarkets.com, what you're going to end up seeing is a whole bunch of things regarding Agnes Olszewski. Now, here's the big thing to know about Agnes, okay? PhD, MBA, I believe from Poland, if I remember correctly. Powerhouse in the marketing and strategy world. Absolutely a huge powerhouse. She was co-founder of HBRM and was the CEO, the CFO, and those type of things, and actually was a big part of being part of Seton Hall University. Now, what a lot of people don't realize is during this time with HBRM and the growth of or lack thereof, she was still being an associate professor at Seton Hall and then retired on June 30, 2010. Now, if you notice, based off of the timing of what's been going on with HBRM since then, as well as if you guys remember back in that time in the summer of 2010, HBRM was big. I mean, it spiked all the way up. I believe it was Quality Stocks that actually ran that, a whole bunch of things, okay? Share structure increased slightly and those type of things. I don't remember the actual numbers, so don't quote me. Bottom line is, if you look back in the summer of 2010, it ran. And the history behind a lot of this, and I kind of want to bounce around here to help you out to understand exactly who we're dealing with here. Okay, huge, absolutely huge resume. All right, 20 years experience in business strategy, strategic marketing management, and international business. And I mentioned Seton Hall piece. Consultant and team leader on strategic management and competitive marketing strategies for leading American corporations, as well as foreign companies and institutions. So the bottom line, there's a huge network there, okay? In her capacity as the international consultant, she had lead multicultural negotiations and managed diverse teams of professionals in USA, Asia, and Europe. She has also been responsible for developing and implementing business and marketing strategy in the U.S. and foreign markets. Her client lists include AT&T, Johnson & Johnson, NYNEX, a whole bunch of Ministry of Foreign Trade and Economic Collaboration, PRC. She's also been a small business advisor and member of the Global Roundtable for the state of New Jersey. Okay, after the collapse of communism in Central Europe, she formed the A&T Global Marketing Inc., one of the first consulting firms in the U.S. by focusing on the transfer of Western management and financial know-how to transitional economies. The company was also involved with advising American corporations on entry strategies and emerging markets of Europe and Asia. Dr. Olszewski has successfully led efforts to form joint ventures in Poland, China, and France. She was the president and CEO of Go International Inc., that she co-founded with Dr. James P. Gilligan. You guys know that name. A consulting firm specializing in business strategies for pharmaceutical industry and global technology transfer, Go International, which merged with Herborium way back in the early 2000s, okay? And so prior to starting Herborium, there's a whole bunch of things over the course of her, her collegiate positions and those type of things. The Institute of International Business and Directors of MSIB program of Seton Hall, where she was, professor of marketing and international business. Okay, she's the author of over 100 publications and presentations in the U.S. and abroad. She's a member of the Women's President's Organization and executive member of the American Marketing Association. Okay, I'm going to read that last little bit. An executive member of the American Marketing Association, member of the Academy of International Business, American Academy of Management, and the International Platform Association. Okay, she received numerous awards, especially from the National Economic Excellence Award and that entire arena regarding those things. Now, why is that such a big deal? You would probably ask. Is the fact that she knows this game better than most, okay? And when it comes to the certain aspects of this, as far as being able to sell a product, okay, whatever those things are. Now, if you read through the OTC, OTCmarkets.com, all right, you're going to see a lot of different things with it when it comes to the filing. Now, here's the one thing I kind of want to discuss with you here on this. Okay. I'm jumping to OTCmarkets.com. All right. I got about 10 screens flying here. All right. HBRM. All right. Now, on HBRM, what you're going to see is the regular company information and the financials. Now, I'm not going to go deep in the financials because I think you're on the verge of where this is going, okay? I think this is an exact thing of what Ali Angel saw and did with the 10K and the 10Qs that with CHRI. Now, the funny thing is, as that QT described, CHRI, LOI regarding the product. They want the products. There's no doubt about that, okay? Because when you look at the share structure and the supplemental and those type of things, I believe the supplemental actually had the authorized shares increasing. I know a lot of information out there has, I believe it to be something like 500 million. However, the real number for the authorized shares is 955 million. Okay, and you can find that in the supplementals and look through that. But that's still within a decent range. And what I believe that to be, okay, and this is pure speculation on my point, is I think they need to raise the capital for more product. Okay. Now, if you notice, if you're looking at the chart and the certain things that are happening with it, the shares are not being sold, meaning that somebody's eating the float as it goes all the way up, which is normally what a money ball does. Now, when I look at this, I sit there and think, okay, this reminds me a lot of GDSM, the way it ran, and it reminds me of a couple other stocks. Now, where it's going to trigger off the fact that, a common thing that's been happening out there is there's a focus on trying to stay away from the name China. Now, does anybody find it interesting that they're not at all? I mean, not even a little bit trying to change their name or any direction, LOIs or anything like that, which tells me point blank it's the real deal. All right, that's because everyone else is doing everything they can to just change it a little bit, even though they're dealing with China or something of that form, because it's frowned upon, or that's where a lot of the scams were. You're not seeing that with this. Okay, so when you go through and you read the supplementals and everything else, when it comes to a lot of their different stuff that they have filed, you'll also notice on October 13th, I believe it is your quarterly report. Okay, now the quarterly report has a whole bunch of stuff in it regarding a lot of different stuff that's going on. That's the August 31st one. Let me give you a better one here that's actually happening. I want the annual report is the one that we want. Okay, annual report, which was filed on February 28, 2012. Now, what's going on here is it goes through, gives you all kinds of information, and they give more information than most, which is pretty impressive. Tells you the amount of shares, all that regular stuff. I'm not going to go through all of that. But what it does, if you go deep down into it, you're going to see a lot of things regarding the FDA and certain aspects of what's happening. Now, I believe there was a press release, and correct me if I'm wrong there, QT. There was a press release announcing April 6th as the defining day for HBRM. Do you remember? Yes. Okay. Now, what was the highlight of that press release? What were they saying?
That they were going to have expansion revenue streams and a launch of new market ventures was pretty much what they were focusing on.
Right, and that's when the announcement's going to be, right?
Yes, on April 6th. Mm-hmm.
Okay. Does anybody else find that odd other than me? Right? Meaning they gave you a date in the future where they're going to do an announcement regarding something. Now, there's two reasons to do that, okay? One is because you're involved with a much bigger company that will not allow you to disclose anything prior to that. However, you want to be able to say certain things about what you're going to do from a business perspective. Now, I don't know what your OS is right now as far as your outstanding shares. Do I believe it to be accurate based off of what OTC Markets has? No, of course not. I think it would be foolish for anybody to think that. But what I do believe is a lot of those shares are being eaten up in a major way to make a similar run like CHRI. Now, if the 2012 CHRI revenues even come in halfway as expected, that stock doubles, right? I mean, they're putting out a growth estimate of 0.06. Now, what is their interest in HBRM? I mean, the bottom line is they want the product. Now, longer term, 6 months to a year down the road, what does that actually mean for HBRM? I don't know. I'm talking about tomorrow and over the course of the short term. If I was the owner of CHRI and I wanted to buy HBRM lock, stock, and barrel, I knew that the owners of HBRM are getting older, probably want to retire, probably have a ton of shares and time and money and effort that are actually in there. I know that I can potentially lowball this offer, okay? Now, do I believe it to be over probably 2 to 3 cents? I do. I don't know exactly what they're going to do regarding that aspect, but I know there's a couple options that they can do. One, they can take the assets out of HBRM, and I'm talking down the road. I mean, this stuff doesn't happen very quickly, which, if they announce they're going to buy it and do the acquisition, we all know that HBRM is going to scream up, all right? There's no doubt about that. That's what normally happens every time when a stock acquisition happens. So what you're sitting there with is you have an asset that you have two company shells, I guess you can. Well, not really shells. That's the wrong word. You have two companies, public companies, but yet what they want is the asset. There's no doubt about that. When you sit there and you look at they're doing a lot of these products. I think they sold over $8 million worth of it since 2004, with reduced marketing and with reduced product. And what I mean by that is they have the entire marketing strategy. I mean, even and this is the amazing part. You go to otcmarkets.com, is this lady actually put in her marketing segmentation plans. The entire stuff's in there, which nobody does that. Nobody sits there and puts out how they're going to market it, where they're going to market, what the segmentation is, what the forecasting models are, and all that other stuff. And it's all in there. So they're telling you point blank, this is what we plan to do. Now, if you also notice a lot of the different things that they're doing, and this is the part that triggered with me. If you go through that annual report, right, everything's about acne ease, skin management, and all that other stuff. But what you're not seeing is all the stuff regarding prostate. Okay, there's a whole bunch of things, and it's all in the annual report about, the urinary system, the ages between 60 and 70. Now, what's the irony to this when it comes to the direction that they're going? Well, if you look at it, a lot of different the ages of the people we're talking about. I believe Agnes is in her 50s, and I'm not sure what the. Let me double check, and I think she's 54. All right, and I'll double check exactly what the other one is. Okay. Hold on one second. All right, and you guys can you can go to Bloomberg Business Week and you can find out all kinds of things about who that is. Okay. Dr. Gilligan is 59 years old, so they're getting older. They're starting to think about a lot of these different things about health. It's all about those type of things, and nobody wants to grow old. They want to live life longer, so they're going to sit different routes with this stuff. Now, all right, let me jump back into this so that way you can see where I'm at here. Okay, now, and this is I'm on the annual report. If you go deeper into it, there's different products from the clinical studies that were done on Liver Rejuvenator, the Virtual Institute for Botanical Therapeutics, right, and all the different things that they're doing from the VIB, which evolved, and all these preclinical data stuff that they're doing with the FDA and everything else. It's all in there. Now, why is CHRI so interested? Okay, it tells you that there's viable products here that they found in all of these, the health and beauty market, the wholesale distributors, the selected, and this is what's big, what QT said, selected international markets in the EU and Asia, right? So they give you the distribution methods and the products or services, as well as the B2C consumer markets, and especially high-end apothecaries, as well as national upscale pharmacy chains. So this isn't a one-trick pony that's actually going on here behind the scenes. Now, I don't know we're guessing when it comes to how they're using the different money and the capital that they've actually raised to do certain things. But you can surely see, if you go through the posts from the past regarding Ali Angel and everything that he did on CHRI and what he was telling everyone, and you can find all this stuff on HBRM board. There's also another one where the homework regarding that, where he's talking about now the first two companies, which one, CHRI, has been on the radar for years now. We have watched CHRI go from sub-penny alert 0.002 to over a dime the last couple of years, and then it fell back. Now, keep in mind, this is where HBRM is now. Next, we have watched CHRI build and produce their business strategy and infrastructure while consistently building huge revenue increases. That's a fact. All this plan has been to enter the U.S. market. They have now selected a partner in HBRM with a similar product line to enter the U.S. at the same time increase the products they sell. Revenues and profits have grown since 3 years ago with this merger and continue at hundreds of percent increases both in profit and revenues now for the next couple of years. Now, I know there's a false theory out there regarding Chinese companies, and he goes through this whole thing, and that's all reality. Anybody that's on Investors Hub knows exactly that's what they're talking about. Now, this is what I would say, okay, to anybody listening to this broadcast. Ali Angel can easily come back to Investors Hub and tell everyone to pack sand that he was right and they were wrong. And you can go through and you can find all the scam posts when somebody sat there and said it was or anything like that. But at the end of the day, the man was right. Now, you know, of course, he's coming back and saying, okay, why CHRI interested in HBRM? Because they're building it. I mean, it's right there. So, you know, do the DD on this company and figure it out, all right? And that's really, really what I would tell you. Somebody is buying the living crap out of it, and it's not small money, all right? So, you know, that's my take on the entire thing, you know, and piggybacking on what QT said. But the bottom line is this thing's going in an up direction, Moneyball's in play, and HBRM is making some noise.
Are you done?
I am.
Jesus. You know, I had a whole segment planned for me and Siffy tonight, and you ruined it.
Did I blow it?
Well, a 50-minute stock spotlight, I would say, kind of ruins a chart reading and analysis of iHub's buzz today.
Well, I have to take half the blame for that.
Damn me. Hey, it's not many times that you actually find something. And you know, the thing that's interesting, and you guys know this, you know, we've been on iHub for years, and you always get this group of people that bash the living crap out of everything, right? And you know, and I'll give them credit. Most of the time they are right, okay? But they were completely wrong with CHRI, and what they need to be doing is going back to that stock and telling everybody that they're sorry. Because I mean, there's no recourse for that type of stuff, right? You know, I mean, right. It is what it is. I mean, they've proved it over and over again. And you know, I give it to Ali Angel. I mean, he nailed this thing, and he's nailing another one in HBRM, point blank.
Good stuff.
Very good.
A lot of information tonight. If you missed any portion of tonight's Stock Spotlight, you can listen to it in its entirety on Investors Hub under videos and then market commentary, approximately 9:45 Eastern Standard Time. We should have that up in video format. Good job, QT. Good job.
Thank you.
There you are. There you are. Good job, QT. Good job, Cop, as usual.
Yeah. That was good stuff, Cop.
You rocked it. You did great. It was good.
Thank you.
Very well done. Good job, Sif. Sif, you want to give us a chart reading on HBRM, please?
HBRM, sure. It's a great-looking chart. I've been looking at a weekly, and first thing that catches my eye on the weekly is we're just about ready to try to push up through that 150 moving average. It's sitting at 0066. And then you've got the 200 MA right above it at 0074. And you look back into, you know, late October of 2009, or actually early October when it bottomed out at 0025. Then it came up, and you see that top at 0195, where it briefly went through that 150 and through that 200 and then pulled back. But you can see when it actually gets up through it can get a nice run. It went from 0090 up to 3 cents, 0.034. So keep your eye on that. We've been seeing that a lot of stocks in the pink world that have been kissing up against that 200 and that 150 MA, and when they break through it, they, you know, it releases the dogs of money, the hounds of cash. So you also got, you know, Top and QT Cal talked about the money coming in like crazy. Another thing I like about this on the money flows, you're about ready to get positive, get up into that positive territory, but down in the negative. You got your 50 MA crossing up through there, and that correlates, you know, again, back with that 09. Your PPO looks really good, and what I like about this is that it's just getting positive into the histogram, and the last time it did that was, again, that big run, and when she gets positive over that histogram and she's crossed through that 50 MA, looking sweet. You got you could put a line on the top of that PPO where you had the negative divergence, and it's, you can call that a breakout. Same with the chart, you know, dropping it on that 3 cent, landing on that 019, touching that 0044. You could call this a breakout too, and now you got point of support at that 0046, 0044, plus your 20 and your 50 MA, which is a positive thing because, you know, on a downtrend, you got those above you. Now they're below us, working as support. That RSI looking like a beast, running up at 73.87 through that 50 MA, barely even touched that 50 before she bounced. accumulation distribution. It's pointing straight north. The ultimate oscillator, it's trying to get up over that 30. That'll be positive. Look for it to get up over that 50 and really start rocking. And last but not least, your slow stow. It's all the way down there at 8.63. So that's telling me that this stock has got some room to run. Everything comes together. So main thing for me is watching that 150 and that 200 MA for my breakout. That's my resistance, and that 20 and the 50 being a solid support. So you got a lot of point of references on this one, so you can play it safe. Good chart play. Good stuff.
Very nice. Thank you very much.
Yes, sir.
It would have been nice to do the top 10. I'm just going to run through the top 10 real quick. I got 4.5 minutes. I'm going to have to do a speed round here, I think. We will not get to chart readings. As you can see, it takes Siffy about 5 minutes to read one chart. Too many indicators, I think.
Or all the right ones.
Well, yeah, maybe. Who knows? Don't really care. All right, let's take a look at what was buzzing on iHub today. Starting off with AGCZ. AGCZ up 18%, 5 million in volume. Closed at 0.058. That's AGCZ. ARNA. It's big boy. It's big stock. $3.01 closed at today. 58 million in volume, up 25%. It's a nice one. Next one. Had a lot of volume. 254 million. IBRC closed at 0003 today, up 50%. NEOM coming back to life again. What do you think here on NEOM? Give me a chart reading on that one real quick there, Siffy. NEOM was up 40% today with 124 million in volume. Siff, can you give me a chart real quick?
Yep. NEOM, what a beast. It's one we caught on the radio show last week. Been following it. Looking at a weekly, she has broken through that 50 MA. We were looking for that, and then she came down and tested the support, so you're looking solid there. I want to see the volume come back in. You almost got your PPO coming up through your positive on your histogram. Everything else is looking solid. I like the slow stow. It's above 50 and pointing straight north. And you got your money flow crossing up through that 50 MA and going positive. So looking solid. You got your 200 and your 150 all the way up at 39 cents and 46 cents. Look to that 11 cent, 15 cent. If you can get through this 585, if you can believe that.
I wonder who it was that called that 2 months ago.
You called it 2 months early. I called it at the right time. Good call.
Yeah, okay. No, I call it at the bottom. All right, next is PCFG. 21 million in volume today, up 40%, closing at 0.0195. Next up, we got TEKCQ. Volume was 375,000. It was up 190%, closing at 0.011. Next, we have UMNG, 31 million in volume, up 90%, closing at 0.0019. And last but not least, CATA, 66 million in volume, up 21%, closing at 0.004. Okay. Guys, great show tonight. Good job. QT, Cop, Sifikia. Don't forget to catch the morning show starting at 9 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Sifikia, Haas, Stock Sumo, going through all the news, charts, L2s, scream them out as they come. You've been listening to Stock Traders Talk Radio. We'll be back tomorrow night at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time with a CEO interview. Good luck in all your trades, and may your portfolio always be green. Stock Traders Talk Radio, and we are out.
Aloha.
Thank you for listening to Stock Traders Talk Radio. All views and topics talked about on Stock Traders Talk Radio is solely for entertainment purposes. We are not professional financial advisors and always recommend you seek the advice of a professional financial advisor. Never invest in any stock featured on our show unless you can afford to lose your entire investment. The information contained on our show is based on sources which we believe to be reliable, but is not guaranteed by us as being accurate, and might not be a complete statement or summary of the available data. Stock Traders Talk Radio advises that the investments in companies profiled are commonly considered to be high risk, and use of the information provided is at the investor's sole risk. Thank you for listening to Stock Traders Talk Radio.